This is 1 Samuel chapter 15 and 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Machakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect, 144 first fruit. And as you can see, I just read 1 Samuel 15 and 23. This was directed towards, at the time, Saul, King Saul. All right. So pretty much he had a task at hand. Through the Spirit, Samuel told him to go over to the Amalekites, which are a tribe of the Edomites. All right. And kill all of them. Kill every single last one of them. Women, children, men, everything, and don't take any of the spoils. Just destroy everything. Instead, what Saul did, he went over there. Yes, he did destroy that place, but he kept the king alive. And then he took some of the spoils that he had won after he pretty much ran through that shit. All right. Now, the specific orders were not to take anything and to just obliterate everything. Those were the specific orders. I don't care if you destroyed everything and took their king as a prisoner of war. I don't care if you took some of the spoils because they had gold and some goods that could be useful. The task at hand was to just destroy everything. Straight up. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. All right? And the main reason I want to bring this out is because it has the word rebellion in it. All right? So we're going to go into the word rebellion in the Hebrew. It says Mariah in the Hebrew. Let's go to the root word. Marah in the Hebrew says to be contentious. Being contentious means you're consistently striving or in strife. What strife means fight. Being someone who's contentious is someone who is argumentative, stubborn, doesn't like to listen. Always has something to say. Always wants to get their point across. Okay? That's kind of being contentious. You're always starting something. Always fighting. Be rebellious. All right? I have the word rebellion in the etymology here. It says war waged against a government by some portion of its subjects. Right? War. You got to listen to that. War waged against a government by some portions of its subjects. So meaning its subjects, something that's within that government or internally. It's like a civil war, you can say, when someone's rebellious. Someone's rebellious in your own house. Someone's rebellious in your own army. That's where you get a coup from. When a country has a coup, it means there's a sect in that specific military that doesn't agree with the government and they round up arms and fight. But it's individuals who are in the same army of the country. That's what a rebellion is. Someone who is in your own circle, you could say. Okay? So going back, it says, be refractory, be disobedient towards. Okay? And what you see today, a lot of these jakes out here are rebellious to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? They're disobedient as fuck. It doesn't matter what you tell them. It doesn't matter what direction you give them, what order you give them. They will have some type of rebuttal to you. Or, let me say this, some type of rebuttal to the Lord. And they will blatantly disobey. You can say go left in their face. Or let me say this, you can say go right to them in their face. Because going left, there's fire and destruction. And they will say, well, I don't want to go right, so I'm going to go left, and be blatantly disobedient. That's how these people are towards the Lord. That's how these people are towards the prophet. Okay? But we understand reading in the book of Samuel, and 1 Samuel is particularly the 8th chapter, the Lord said, Samuel, don't worry. They ain't rebelling against you. Okay? You shouldn't be too mad. You're not the one who should be upset. Because even so in Sirach, I think the 10th chapter, I want to say, it talks about how furious anger is not made for men. Okay? There ain't no reason for you to be super mad and angry. Okay? He was telling the same thing to Samuel. They don't rebel against you because I put the spirit on you to tell them these things, and they're blatantly not doing what I told you to tell them. They're rebelling against me, being blatantly disobedient. It doesn't matter how minuscule the direction is. And I have that word direction here. It says direction, action of directing or guiding. All the Lord is trying to do is give individuals guidance through a particular individual, through his subjects. All you have to fucking do is listen and stop being rebellious. It could be, like I said, the most minuscule direction. Put the pencil 2 inches to the left and you put it 1 inch, you could get fucked up. And especially in the time that we're in now, the Lord is not really, never was, but he's not really playing right now. Any little false movement could possibly cost you your life. There's been a lot of judgment going around, and a lot of people are still rebellious and don't want to fucking listen. They can get them fucked up. And the prophets ain't even going to be upset at it. Be like, oh shit, I told you. The Lord put the spirit on me to tell you something. Whether it be something so small, the Lord still directs everything I still say. All right? The Lord still directs everything the prophets say. Again, I'm going to get one of my favorite precepts. Proverbs 16:1. The preparations of the heart in man, and when you go into the word preparations, it means the arrangements. Okay? So he organized things in his subject's mind. Go back to Job, I think like the 32nd or the 33rd chapter, where it tells you that's how he hardwires us at night when we sleep, to give us our preparations and our arrangements for the next following day. Okay? So the preparations of the heart in man, which we all understand the word heart in the Hebrew is lab, which means your mind, and the answer of the tongue. So whenever you speak, especially something in the spirit, it came from the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Whether it be a direction that may not seem so quote unquote biblical, it's still something that came from the Lord, because that's something that you are saying and the Lord is using you as a vessel. All right? It's from the Lord. Right. Okay? Things that us prophets say come from the Lord. Again, whether it be macro or minor, big or small, diminutive, meaning short, or extremely long, it came from the Lord. And it will behoove you people to understand, perceive, and listen to it, ultimately. Okay? So let's go back to the Hebrew word of rebellion, marah. It says, to be disobedient, be rebellious towards God. Okay? So if you are not listening to a prophet, okay, that's fine. You ain't gotta fucking listen to me. I ain't nobody. I'm trying to get on a chariot just like my other brothers. I'm trying to get out of here just like any other individual who believes in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. But that's fine. You don't have to listen to us. Because ultimately, it's not me. You not listening to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the one who kept only 8 people alive and destroyed the rest of this planet. The one who's only going to keep 144 select individual men alive and kill the rest and put the rest in slavery. That's who you're not listening to. So be my guest. Don't matter to me. It ain't my problem. All I can do is tell you. If you tell you to do one thing, you best do it. All right? And a whole bunch of Jake in Israel don't want to fucking listen. Okay? So the Lord, he's like, all right, cool. That's a bet. Just add to your tally. This is Isaiah, the 1st chapter. I'm going to go ahead and go to, let's see, verse 5. That's what I want. Why should ye be stricken anymore? Correct. Because back in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, starting at verse 1 all the way down to 68. It tells you what happens if you listen and what happens if you don't. Guess what Israel did? We did not listen. So guess what happened? We were stricken. How? Through slavery. All right? But guess what? We're still here in slavery. And guess what? Israel still don't fucking listen. So this is why the Lord said, Isaiah 1 and 5, why should ye be stricken anymore? Fuck it. Okay. Even a harsh rebuke of slavery won't even get you niggas to listen. So why? Okay, that's a bet. Now I'm just gonna start clipping you and ultimately just destroy you and get rid of you and start brand new. Because me just giving you a tap on the wrist or a little whooping ain't working. Okay? Why should ye be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. Let's go back to that word rebellion. All right? The word rebellion. Again, war waged against a government by some portion of its subjects. Okay? Rebellion, revolt. All right? The Lord, he was stricken you. He's stricken Israel, and they keep on not listening. They keep plucking their fucking foreheads. And they keep on not listening. The Lord's like, you know what? Okay, bet. Let me just send a missile towards your ass. So you can just be done away with. So I don't have to deal with that shit no more. So I don't have to deal with your rebellion. Your revolting. Okay? Your prideful ways. And just restart out of the loins of the elect 144. Let's just do it that way. Okay? Going back. It says... ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick. And what happens? Oh, let me keep reading. And the whole heart faint. Correct. The whole head is sick. All right. When the head is penetrated, meaning the mind, and it gets to a point of no return, there's no fucking point of even dealing with it. It's tainted. It's done. It's like a cancer that has spread too far out the body. You only have 3 more months to live. That's how Israel is. That's how a lot of individuals in Israel is. But guess what? Us prophets are out here to do this from that. And we're just out here to do that. Wash the blood off our hands. And just and do what the Lord told us to do. All right? Nothing more, nothing less. Because that's what he told us to do. Straight up. We're not going to rebel against it. We're not going to revolt. We're going to do what he asked us to do. That simple. And it will behoove you to listen. If you're around a prophet, it would behoove you to just listen. And just do what he asks. That's it. Okay? I'm going to go back to the script. In 1 Samuel. Rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. And stubbornness, meaning being obstinate of heart. Okay? Meaning blatantly going against something. That's why Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, speaks about your Israel's head is as hard as flint. Okay? You're hard-headed. Hard-headed. A simple goddamn direction is a fucking problem to Jake. It's annoying. But us prophets get to the point when you get further on to this walk where it's like, all right, cool, fuck it. Ain't my problem. I told you. It's the same thing Paul did when you read in the book of Acts, I think the 18th chapter around the 5th verse, if I'm not mistaken. He was pressed in his spirit to go into the Jews, the ones who were of the circumcision, who knew they were Israelites, to tell them that Yahushua is the Savior, and you need to call on him to save your life. When they didn't want to listen to it, instead they blasphemed. He said, you know what, fuck it. Whatever. He shook his raiment. Hey, blood's on y'all. It's on your own head now. I'm going to go to the Gentiles, ones who are willing to listen. It's the same thing to this very day. It'd be the ones who know about Israel. Be the most stubborn and hard-headed ones. But it's fine. Because rebellion is as a sin of witchcraft. And when you go into the scriptures and the law, the scriptures tell us, suffer not a witch to live. Okay? So when you see a witch, it's death on sight. You know, that's where Jake get it from, the scriptures. It's on sight. So if you're rebelling, you're just as guilty as a witch. If you're rebelling, you're practicing witchcraft. You're practicing being a warlock. for you men out there, because there's a witch, which is a woman, and a warlock, which is a man. When you're rebelling against the prophets, you're rebelling against Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. And that's witchcraft. And witchcraft gets put to death, straight up. A lot of Jake out here don't want to fucking listen. And guess what? It ain't our problem. We just out here to tell you. Okay? Then right once it hits, right everything that we say, right when it hits, they're going to fucking realize. All right? And y'all already know where I'm going with this. Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, the 33rd verse. All right? It says, and when this cometh to pass, and what cometh to pass? Everything we talk about. The missiles. Oh, Salakia. Everything we talk about. Jacob's trouble, which we're pretty much already in. We're in the very inception stages of it. It's just building up. All right? These pestilence, famine, and diseases. Certain prophecies coming to pass. I know the elder Aratazah in my camp, in the Atlanta camp, just did a lesson called Only End Time Prophecies Are Left. Okay? We done seen the least, so draw them out already. All right? We done seen the Ezekiel 37, Magog and Gog gathering. We done seen all these other little prophecies come to pass. The only things left is the big boys. The mark of the beast, Jacob's trouble, a lot of death. That's another thing. The Deacon Barzal, the Captain Gamal, and the Officer Karatazar just did a live stream yesterday speaking about there's going to be a lot of death in this place. That's a big time prophecy. That's an end time prophecy. And when we say all these things, it says, Ezekiel 33 and 33 again, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Everything that I just mentioned will come to pass. And we're telling you, giving you direction, which means being a guide, putting your ass in a straight line, directing you, and we just only trying to direct you toward the good path, toward a path of safety. All right? To keep your ass straight. That's it. That's all we trying to do. Even if it seems petty. We don't mean no harm by it. It'll do you justice if you just behoove and listen. Or it'll behoove you to listen. It says, lo, it will come to pass, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. Exactly. They shall know a prophet been among them when they start getting their ass kicked. When they start getting shot more in the streets by these fucking cops. It's going to turn into not being the cops, into these fucking UN troops and the military soldiers that Esau is going to bring down on your ass. Because you're too stubborn to even listen to a cop. Let alone us. Therefore, you got to get agents, provocateurs, and things of that nature to come down on your ass. Because you don't want to listen. That's fine. We told you. We told you. Okay? With pestilence and famines and diseases, like it mentions about in the book of Ezra, 2nd Ezra, and all throughout the scriptures. We told you these things. We told you to call upon the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. I told you to stop eating pork, shrimp, lobster, crab, catfish, all these little abominable foods. Stop edging your head up. Like I said in the beginning, it's small things. Stop edging your head up. That's small. Stop edging your beard. That's a small thing. Very minor. Very minuscule. It's not hard to stop doing that. It's not hard to stop eating shrimp. It ain't. Stop smoking, nigga. Stop. It's not hard. If you put your mind to it. And really, in some of these things in the law, you don't really got to put your mind into. You just end up stopping. It's not hard. I did it. The bros that with me did it. The law is not grievous. It is here for our longevity of life. Okay? Read the first chapter of Ecclesiasticus. Or Sirach. Okay? It tells you, having the fear of the Lord and doing what he asks will give you a long life. Straight up. Also in the book of Proverbs. All right? Read it and weep. No, read it and be joyful. Okay? It's small things. But because you don't want to listen to the small things or the big things, your ass going to get fucked up. Because the Lord done dealing with it. Like I read in Isaiah. Why should I stricken you anymore? I'm not. I'm just gonna bring a missile and a UN troop to put a fucking M16 upside your head and then bust it right inside in your mouth. Okay? All right? because you don't want to listen to my prophets on the highways and byways. Or you're around a prophet and don't want to listen to him and be continual rebellious and continual revolting. That's fine. Okay? The Lord is fed up with this rebellious nation. Okay? And it's going to come down hard on them. And he already told them what to do to escape these things. Even in the scripts, just loosely paraphrasing, it tells, if all Israel will face the east and pray to Jerusalem, I'll take you up out of here. But do you think that's going to happen? And that's something that's very simple to do. It's very simple. You face your ass toward the east, and you pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua for salvation. If all of Israel, the scriptures say, if all of Israel does that, we out of here. But you think that's going to happen? Nope. Therefore, he has to bring them to Israel in a different manner. He's going to bring the elect in a manner of salvation, which is going to be an extravagant salvation, very glorious. And he's going to bring the 2/3 through fire and brimstone. That's simple. And death and destruction and pain. Because the scriptures talk about they shall experience it, death by pain, for being rebellious. All right? So I just wanted to come out with that video. All right? In that lesson, if you ever find yourself kind of slipping, just repent to the Lord. Apologize. Okay? Apologize. And stop doing the same thing. The scriptures say it also in Sirach, the 17th chapter. Okay? To repent and offend less. All right? If you ain't listening, it's about time to listen right now. If you have trouble listening, you better fucking work on it. Now I'm just going to say it straight up, because we're coming into a time where not listening will get you killed. Straight up. You know? So Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua B'Shem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. It's the brother Kasha Kwala. Until the next time, I want to say shalom.